So I'm gonna try my hardest not to compare the movie to the book, okay? They're completely different entities, with the movie really only being inspired by the novel, not a faithful recreation. With that being said, let's get into the actual review. I want to start off with the marketing in this movie. All the posters are awful, with the exception of one of them that I actually like, that is. I mean, just look at some of these. They're so poorly made, and they all look so terrible. I actually thought that they were fan posters when I first saw them, but when I figured out that they were real, I caught myself laughing hysterically. Look at this Matrix rip-off poster they did. It's so bad. It looks so clearly photoshopped. It's amazing how this actually got released as a part of the official marketing campaign. Not only are they bad, but they serve literally no purpose to the movie. They're not showing any aspect of the movie like a normal poster would, and they're just kind of there to try and attract a certain crowd. I found several articles just straight up making fun of how awful these posters are. Not only are the posters bad, but the trailers are horrid as well. Like, the first time I saw one of them, I was genuinely shocked and pissed off by how obvious it was which companies and brands paid the most to be in the movie. Oh, but don't get me wrong, because this is by far not the only problem I had with them. I really wish it was, though. I mean, in the trailer itself, there was just bad narration. It's all just boring and uninspired. It's so monotone. The visuals are, like, terrible. They're so awful. There's a lot of tonal misconceptions for the movie. Like, watching the trailer, you would think the movie is a lot more serious than it actually is. It also sells itself solely on references. Like, there's so much product and media placement in the trailer. I remember when I saw Tracer in the trailer, I laughed. It's so stupid. I thought it was awful. Like I said earlier, the trailers never bought me, and I think it's clear by what I just pointed out. However, once the movie actually came out, people were starting to love it. Most of the reviews I read were praising this movie for its spectacle and its visual effects. A lot of the reviews I read even said that Spielberg had quote-unquote come back. After seeing all the great reviews, I thought that it couldn't possibly be that bad. But oh no, I was wrong. I saw this movie about a week after it first opened with my dad. Neither of us liked it very much. A lot of the movie struggles from similar problems that were in the trailer. The first third of this movie is all exposition given to us by the terrible main character. It's all so boring, and I didn't really care about anything that was being talked about. I kind of like the first couple of shots where he's showing us the trailer park and everybody is in their oasis doing different things. Like that one fat stripper lady. I like that. I know some people didn't, but I don't know. Aside from that, there isn't too much else that I liked about the movie. The villains' motives were stupid and made no sense. Like, I think the only motivator they had, or at least what I got from it, is that they wanted to put ads on people's oasis visors while they were trying to play. Really? Is that your idea of a good motivation for a villain? Give them some character, give us some reasons to really hate them, but allow us to understand why they do what they do. Don't just tell us something that we think is bad and expect us to hate them, because we don't. Also, this corporation, IOI Industries, seems to be able to just do whatever they want. Like, they capture people and force them to do work so that people can pay IOI the debts they owe, but like, the police are never mentioned or anything. Are we supposed to assume that IOI can just do this? And they just blew up someone's family, and yet somehow the leader of IOI, Nolan Sorrento, doesn't get in trouble. What? How does this make any sense? Are we supposed to believe that they're all powerful and can just do whatever they want to do? There's also this stupid item in the movie. I don't even remember what it's called, honestly, but it's an item that, when used, will blow up and kill everyone in the sector. How was no one used this before? Like, seriously, this is supposed to be an online game. People would troll other people with it just for the hell of it. Clearly, the writers for this movie do not understand how people in multiplayer games work. Like, if this was a real multiplayer game, you bet that thing would have gone off so many times before just because people like being a-holes on the internet, alright? The story in this movie is supposed to be simple. Figure out the riddles, get the Easter egg, and earn all the money, as well as access to the Oasis. But of course, there's an evil corporation that wants to get the Easter egg first so they can do something really stupid with it. Something evil and corporate-y, I guess. But getting the first key was an absolute joke. All he had to do was put his car in reverse. Don't you think someone would have figured that out already? I mean, really, is it that hard for them to just put their car in reverse and go backwards? It's made even more stupid by the fact that not even 5 minutes earlier in the movie, Halliday, the guy who started the contest, said that you had to quote-unquote use your brains to figure out the clues. Tell me, what kind of brains does it take to figure out how to put your car in reverse? Like, the way he figured it out was so stupid too. He goes to the archives and sees Halliday saying something like, "Oh, sometimes I wish we could go in reverse," and then Wade's like, Oh, I get it now. I just need to go backwards on the track. Yeah, what a load of brainpower it took to figure that one out, yeah? First time we see him on the track, he sees Artemis, who I guess he has a crush on or something. A lot of this stupid stuff happens on this track, and at the end, King Kong just kind of appears out of the ground, and Waithe pulls Artemis off of her motorcycle saying, no one can get past King Kong. But couldn't they just get a car to fly around him or something? Like, it's a video game where supposedly you can do whatever you want to. So who's to say that you can't do that? Like, there were never any rules or anything explicitly saying what they could or could not do in the race. After Waithe gets the first key, his name goes up on the scoreboard for literally everyone in the Oasis to see. But for some reason, even though people now know who he is, no one tries to kill him. If this was supposed to be some sort of ultra competition where everyone is only concerned about themselves, then why hasn't anyone tried to kill him? Or, at the very least, try and get information out of him. If this was real life, you bet everyone would be trying to track him down and figure out how he got the key. Or just kill him to stop him from getting farther, if not both. At this point, the corporation baddies are like, we have to stop him from getting any further, but before we do, let's try and get him on the team to help us. Why would he help you? You've done nothing. They offer him something, I don't even remember what, and when he turns them down, they threaten to kill his family, but Wade's like, no, joke's on you, I don't like my family anyways, and turns them down again, only to see his whole family get massacred by this corporation over a video game. So he runs away and tries to hide back in the Oasis, but he gets attacked by some guy who puts him in under chloroform and then wakes up again and he's with Artemis? How did she know where he was? She says something about a rebellion or a resistance or something, but it's never brought up again throughout the entire length of the movie. But 5 years go by and still, no one has figured out to go backwards in their cars yet. Like, what? That just doesn't make any sense. Also, I just wanted to point out in the beginning of the movie, we see people running through the world wearing their visors. Wouldn't they eventually run into something? Maybe VR is just so advanced that it stops that from happening or something stupid like that, but the movie never explains it, so I guess not. There's this really stupid dance scene with Artemis and Parzival, where they're in this nightclub where you float around in the air and dance with each other in midair. But Artemis just goes a mermaid tail and floats away from Parzival. It looks so stupid. He tells her he loves her and she freaks out, but of course IOI shows up and tries to kill them both. Oh no! But don't be afraid, because Parzival has just the tool. He whips this thing called a Zemeckis cube out, which freezes everyone in the room and makes them go back in time a full minute. Fortunately, it didn't have any effect on Artemis though, and she gets out scot-free. I think the best scene in the movie by far was the Shining scene. It was actually very well done, and for the most part, I really liked watching it. One thing I thought was cool about this scene was how they actually took the time and effort to play some of the original Shining soundtrack over the scene. Overall, it was very well done. The rest of the movie after this, admittedly, does get better, but I still don't really like it too much. IOI finds this hideout that Artemis and Parzival were hiding in and attempt to kill the two, but they run away. Well, Parzival does anyways. Like a true hero, he leaves his girlfriend behind and she gets captured by the company and forced into labor. What? How does that work? I don't understand how a company like this can just take some random person and force them to do work when they've done literally nothing wrong. It doesn't make sense. Oh well, it happens, and meanwhile, Parzival gets saved by the other top 5 players, and it's revealed that my favorite character, H, is actually a woman. Whoa! What a plot twist. I totally thought it was a man the whole time. That's crazy, dude. IOI puts a force field up around the location of the first key, preventing anybody else from getting in. Don't worry though, it doesn't work, but we'll get to that soon. So, Artemis escapes from her cell because apparently it just had a lever on it that opened the door and let her escape. Parzival recruits a bunch of people to try and fight against this company so they can get the third key. He says that everyone will help out just because they don't want the key to fall to the business. But I also thought it was supposed to be a competition, and they already know that Parzival and the others are close to winning. I don't know, it was kind of weird, but I guess I understand it. So yeah, he recruits all these people. Artemis goes into an IOI Oasis thing so she can help fight, but oh no, she doesn't get caught, but she comes really close, and it was super intense. Even though Sorrento knows specifically what she looks like and could have easily picked her out of the crowd because she's the only one with red hair, but oh well, the plot has to progress, I guess. But because she's now a corporate slime ball, she's able to sneak past enemy lines and shut down the force field, so yeah, that was kind of pointless, wasn't it? A giant battle ensues, and there's a bunch of references to a bunch of stuff, obviously. There's a bunch of product placement too, but that's whatever. They have to fight Sorrento in his terrifying Mecha Godzilla suit, but of course they win. Why wouldn't they? They're the good guys. Good guys can't lose. They go inside and figure out that the last key is playing a game called Adventure for the Atari 2600. IOI has a whole line of people lined up with this thing, but none of them can get it. Apparently, what you're supposed to do is find the Easter egg in the game. So you're telling me that this company has an entire force of people people who study Halliday in games for a living, but they can't remember something like this? Really? But before Parzival is able to play the game, Sorrento sets off the thingy that wipes everyone in the sector out, and now they're all dead. Movie over. Nah, I wish the movie was over, but it's not, of course. So this coin that some robot guy gave Parzival earlier was apparently an extra life. Whatever. So he finds the Easter egg in this video game and he gets the key. Yay, he won. I totally wasn't expecting him to win. He gets sent to a castle of sorts and is gifted a contract. Ooh, thrilling. But he declines it because apparently it was similar to a contract that basically ended Halliday's relationship with his best friend or something like that. This was the right decision, I guess, because now he's shown a red button that is supposed to shut down the Oasis, along with some life advice that can be summarized as, don't always play video games, love life outside of them too. Yikes. A little too much, no? Cut to real life and Sorrento is still pursuing Parzival and tries to shoot him with a gun. But while he's doing that, he walks through an entire crowd of people and none of them attack. So you're telling me that not a single one of these people has a gun or a weapon or something of their own? Come on, they live in a trailer park in America. Of course they're gonna have something. But alas, they just let Sorrento through and he almost kills this 17-year-old kid right before the cops show up and arrest him. Of course, it's revealed that the robot guy who gave Parzival the extra life was actually Halliday's best friend, who just now decided to come out of hiding. Not really for any specific reason, but he's here. So yay, Parzival won and now has control of the entire Oasis. So what's the first thing he decides to do? That's right, shut it down on Tuesdays and Thursdays because he wants people to enjoy their actual lives on those days. Wait a minute, I thought you were fighting against IOI this whole time because you didn't want them to shut down the Oasis. Huh? Also, what if not everyone has a life worth living? Isn't that why the Oasis is so popular in the first place? I don't think everyone has the chance to experience their life in the fullest in some amazing way. In fact, I'm certain. That's a pretty big assumption there you're making, Parzival. Anyways, the movie ends with Parzival and Artemis falling in love and buying an apartment together. The end. Ugh, I really don't like this movie. I don't necessarily hate it per se, but I just strongly don't like it. It's not even just the plot I have a problem with either. None of the characters throughout the whole movie are fleshed out. Not a single one of them. The movie tries really hard to make you care about these people, but you really don't at all. Especially H. I hated her the whole movie. She has this stupid voice filter over the whole time to make it sound like she's a man, but it's very obviously a voice filter, so it wasn't really surprising when we found out that she was a girl. I think in the movie she said that she did this because men have more of an opportunity for success or something like that, but it's a video game, come on. Also, look at Artemis. She succeeded pretty well if you ask me, and she did it without posing as a dude. Other than this, she was just super annoying. She tried being funny, but it always just made me cringe, and I hated it when she was on screen. None of the relationships of these characters were believable either. There was no chemistry between Parzival and Artemis whatsoever. Parzival and H's friendship was stiff and not believable. I don't know, the characters were just overall a mess. The motivations of the antagonists were stupid too. I don't clearly remember what they were, to be honest. There might have been a scene where they were talking about putting ads on the Oasis or something. I don't remember. The CGI was terrible too. And I don't want to hear that, oh, well, it's supposed to look like that because it's a video game. That's not an excuse. If you're going to do something like this, just use real actors in these settings. That would make it feel much better and more grounded. I felt detached from everything because the CGI was so bad. So yeah, I wouldn't really recommend seeing this movie. There's really no reason to go see it, honestly. There's nothing special about it in any ways. But yeah, thanks for watching, and please don't see this movie.